Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I don't know what the heck we're talking about. We are all losing our minds.
Hello, and welcome to Descant.
Today, we have a very special
Episode
guest. 9.
8. 9.
Amen.
Episode 9.
Amen. And the Lord saith 8.
Episode 9. So, this was an unplanned guest.
Well, you know what? Alright,
So,
I'll use the mug.
Yo,
Hold on, everybody. I have to use the Descant mug.
we're using the Descant mug for water because we already drank our coffee because we just recorded an episode.
There's literally water bottles, but I have to use the mug. Because
So-
it's sponsored by this mug. What's her
Uh,
name? What's the girl's name? That made him?
Katie.
Katie, thank you again.
So, I'm Eli.
I'm Noah.
This is awful. I feel like we should start over.
No, this is good. This is quality content.
Premium content.
And we have a special guest.
Wait, let me explain first.
Amen.
So, we have a special topic for today, a topic that I've been excited for a really long time. And I'm going to lead you on for that for a few minutes. But, Noah and I were just planning to do it. You know, I did myself some research on it and all that.
And I didn't.
And, he was hanging out with someone, and he was like, hey, this person's with me. They want to just sit in. Is that cool? And I was like, heck, let's just get him to talk about it with us.
Yeah.
And so,
Let's talk about that.
Mr. Poe, here we are.
Hello. Round of applause. Round of applause. Can you edit
Guest number 2.
a round of applause
Or guest,
thing in there?
Guest number 5,
Well,
technically.
Well, this is the second episode we've had a guest. Back to back, by the way.
Back to back
We
to back.
we
to back
cannot
to
do
back.
it by ourselves.
I guarantee you we're going to have a guest up next episode.
How do you know that? You just feel it?
I feel it.
You're vibing with
I'm
that?
vibing. Second episode of 2020, y'all.
Yeah.
Say hi, Poe. Tell your life story. Hit us with it.
Hi.
That's enough.
Poe.
Also,
No! Keep going! Tell us a little bit about your... I mean, we know who you are, but...
Okay. Well, I am an aspiring actor. I've been acting for a while. That's about all I have for myself right now. Actually, I'm going to call out a name. I'm currently acting in a movie called Home by Sunday. Check it out on IMDb.
Oh,
It's
sponsor.
coming out soon.
Sponsor?
Sponsored by Home by Sunday.
Do we have a...
Can they pay us?
Guys, do we have a sponsor? Everybody can watch the movie.
Can you tell them to...
Playing at
put in
Redacted Cinema.
Redacted Cinema, yeah!
When is that happening?
We're hoping it's out by February.
You're hoping?
Yeah. The editing process isn't going so great. We also currently have a couple more scenes to film. I only have one more, which means I'll have to get a haircut and shave, which I'm not looking forward to. But yeah, it's going good.
Yeah. So Poe has been acting in a movie for the past how long?
Over
48
year.
years.
It's been
Yeah.
over a year now.
Feels like a long time.
They're playing the movie at my place of work
And also my place of work.
now.
I also work
we,
there now.
We hope you stay.
What do you mean?
Might get a call.
No, he's
saying
not
you weren't
officially
so good.
hired. But by the way, this is the same day as last episode. So
In case you don't know, we pre-recorded.
that hasn't just taken this long to be decided.
It's not like a week ago they were still deciding.
5 minutes ago. Well, not 5
It's
minutes.
taken
We
them
took
a
a
week
long
just
break.
to accept him.
So the topic for today's episode is a topic I've been looking forward to for
I've
a
also
really
been
long
looking
time
forward to it.
because I've always found it really interesting. I used to think about it constantly. I don't feel like I think about it nearly as much as I used to. But our topic is... That's probably going to be really loud.
No, it's not peaking that much.
Time travel.
Da 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 da. And the fact that it does not exist.
Dude.
That-
End of the podcast.
No, dude. No, we're going to talk about why we feel it does exist.
And why
That's
we
what
think-
I'm
yeah.
going to talk about, at least.
Why you feel
Only
like it's a
exists.
potential thing to do, like to exist.
So, who wants to get us started here?
I feel like
One reason why we're so open to Poe just being here. By the way, we call him Poe. It's
that's what we call him.
it's what we call him. It's not not actually his name, but
I mean, it is actually his name.
It's just not my first name.
We'll let you go wherever you want with that. I feel like something we have to establish right off the bat, but there is discussion to it, is what, like, brand of time travel are we thinking?
Also, I do want to say,
I think
we are not scientists.
Yeah,
we are just a couple of teenage men.
We are idiots.
I'm a nerd.
Pondering time travel. We're a couple of nerdy boys.
Listen, I really like Doctor Who, okay?
Yeah.
I have 2 sonic screwdrivers.
I feel like this is mostly going to be like theories and stuff, but
This is going to be us geeking out over sci-fi.
absolutely, and that's what
For an
that's all
hour.
I ever wanted out of this podcast.
Yeah. I think we have to discuss what brand of time travel are we going with, because there's multiple types.
I think we should focus on all of them.
And go
That's fair.
through all of it.
Go through all of
Because
them.
you think
I
of...
definitely think we should focus a lot on the legitimate kind, the actual.
But see, that's the thing. We don't know what would actually happen.
And that's where you lag, because I did my research.
Oh?
Yeah.
Well, see, hold on. There's different ways of thought. So there's the way of thought, say, Back to the Future, where anything
I haven't
that you
seen
do...
that.
Oh, you did your research, buddy!
See, research
That
for
is
us
the time
is
travel
watching
Watching
every
movies.
movie.
Okay,
ever.
so Back to the Future, basically, anything you did altered the future ridiculously. And everything changed. Unless it was something minor. Which I feel like would not be realistic, but anyway. And then there's the thing, by the way, spoilers, for Endgame, in case you haven't seen it. There's
Avengers Endgame.
Avengers Endgame. There's time travel in that movie, and it's so much different than anything we've ever seen.
Also, Doctor Who.
And Doctor Who
we're
has...
all really into Doctor Who.
Doctor Who has weird time travel. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
that movie is way less... Or, that movie.
It's
So much less about time travel and more about just travel.
Like,
it seems
yes,
like.
and like just metaphorical life concepts. I
Yeah.
feel.
And, like, time travel is definitely a big part, and there are definitely episodes where time travel...
But
like
it's less realistic.
Yeah. Like, the
than
episode
other
where
things.
Matt Smith stays on that planet and
Good
sends Clara.
Laura.
I thought her name was Laura.
Clara.
Love you, Laura.
They say it like Clara. That's
Yeah,
why.
they do.
Yeah.
He sends Clara into the
Love you,
future,
Laura.
and then he lives on that planet for like thousands of years, and then she just reappears in like 15 seconds for her. But it was thousands of years for the Doctor.
I'm going to be honest, I've actually never watched Doctor Who.
Really,
Bro.
You'd love it.
I
It's
intend
so
on
good.
watching it.
Well,
I haven't watched
I was
any
gonna
recently.
ask you both this, but I gotta ask before we get to the nitty gritty. You know, favorite Doctor.
Favorite Doctor.
David Tennant.
He knows.
I really like David
See, I
Tennant.
just
David
love David
Tennant's
Tennant as an
100%.
actor.
Mr. 10.
I have to say, I've watched a lot of 4. Cannot remember his name for the life of
4?
me. Yeah.
Like Doctor Number 4?
Yeah, Doctor Number 4.
Like the old school Doctor
Yeah,
Who.
I've watched a little bit of him, and I really like him. He was the first one that took it wacky. Because the first 3 were very serious,
Yeah.
and then the 4th one took his own spin on it, and like the huge scarf that he had and all that, he took it like a much more fun route. And that was where it started to be the Doctor's like whimsical, and he's less just death and destruction and time travel is inevitable.
Yeah.
Die. And I feel like that was something that they really took onward. Because, I mean, you look at, like... Have you seen any of Peter Capaldi?
Yeah.
'Cause
I've seen all of Peter Capaldi.
I've watched a little bit of it, and he seems to be a good mixture of very serious and also not serious at all.
That's fair.
Because, like, I've seen the scene where he just rips it on the guitar, which is hilarious.
The only Doctors that I haven't seen is, of course, 1 through 8.
Yeah. You're not missing with 8, I'm telling you. It's just a movie, and it's terrible.
I figured.
It was made
But-
by America.
13, 14, however you want to look at it. You know, there was the, what's his name? The actor.
The War Doctor.
The
He
War
died.
Doctor.
I can't remember.
The actor did?
Yeah, the actor died. I cannot remember his
He
name.
seemed like a cool dude.
Yeah, I don't know him that well.
I can't.
We're not
I can't
best
remember.
friends.
I used to know his name, but, you know, depending if you want to count him or not, the female Doctor. That's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at.
She seems cool
I've
from
watched
what I've
like
seen.
half the new season.
Is she cool?
I like her.
Yeah.
I think it's a good spin on it.
And I think everyone was definitely excited about it. Because the Doctor's mentioned before, like, I can be anything. I could be a cat.
And I feel like it's good that they finally
Okay, imagine
did it
them bringing
because
a
it's-
cat in, though.
A cat is the Doctor.
Oh my god.
What about if they could honestly do
That
it
is
if it was a
true.
talking cat?
Yeah.
And, like, he, like, even if he didn't stand on all fours, or even if he
Bro,
didn't...
Tom.
Tom and Jerry. Bro.
The new Dr. Tom. Maybe that's his name.
Maybe his name's Tom.
Tom.
What is the doctor's name? There was that whole thing about it whenever they
What is
brought
the
up...
doctor's name? Are you looking to die?
Are you looking to die?
You looking to die today? Sponsor.
Sponsored by dying.
Sponsored by death. Sponsored
Anyway,
by...
can we start talking about
Dr.
time
Who.
travel instead of the doctor, even though that has
Can I title this? You
I've already
Looking
got
to
different
Die?
ideas of different examples of time travel in my head.
Poe's about to lose it.
Poe's busting. Alright, hit us with it. Also, if you're going to talk that dadgum quiet, you need to get closer.
All right, I'm sorry.
Because we're loud.
We are loud boys.
So we've got Avengers Endgame, where
I feel like... Sorry, I just immediately
go for
interrupted.
it. Go for it.
I feel like the way Endgame did it was fairly realistic.
I kind of agree with it. I still don't know how I feel about the whole multiverse theory.
Well, they never...
Well, I mean,
brought
in
that in.
realistically.
I got
like,
you, I got you.
It's very hard to picture if we could time travel that what we affected in the past doesn't affect now, but it affects something else in like a different future.
Well, is a multi... So the whole multiverse theory and like theory of parallel universes, that's not the same thing, right? Or is that...
Yeah, mostly.
Technically, yes. So the multiverse theory and parallel universes are similar in the fact that there's tons of universes that are all similar to a certain point.
Yes.
So say there's a universe right now where I'm sitting here and I don't put my leg on this bed. And then there's a universe where I do, and this is that universe because my leg is on the bed. But in the other one, I go the rest of my life not having put my leg on this bed, and right now I may be talking about how I didn't put my leg on this bed.
And
So
it's
from
just
this
butterflies.
Yes, so from this point on, something else may happen, like I put my glasses back on, or something like that.
And
or
then
Poe puts
maybe,
my glasses on,
maybe
like he's
you
doing.
end up breaking them.
Yeah,
And then
so
that leads to,
anything can happen.
that leads to a certain financial issue.
Yeah,
And
or
then
or maybe my leg can cramp because it's up here.
You like
Yeah.
that? You like how we just completely made that
That-
way worse than it ever would be?
That is more so the butterfly effect,
Yeah.
and that
That's something I've always found super interesting and something that I've always like really believed in, and like the whole idea of parallel universes and stuff.
so the butterfly effect. This is I'm gonna say something that may be controversial. Fortnite.
Back to episode 4,
Fortnite.
bro. Dude.
So in Fortnite, back in season 3, so in what, 2018? Towards the beginning of 2018 was season 3, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, regardless, a while back in Fortnite, they had this event where in the sky there was a meteor and you could see it, and then tiny meteors were hitting the map. And that was the first time they ever did anything with story or anything like that. And the most recent thing that happened in Fortnite was a black hole sucked in the entire map. And a bunch of stuff happened in between there that were all linked. And at one point during the like events that they were having, there was an event where there was a butterfly.
Oh.
And it was a reference to the butterfly effect, because if that meteor had never landed, then everything else that happened in this... There was like a big monster and like a robot that fought... Like, there's a bunch of stuff. If you haven't seen the story of Fortnite, it's actually pretty interesting. Go watch it. Like, Fortnite live events. What?
Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing.
He just whispered something to Poe. What? I'm so lost.
Nothing. You don't want to know.
Okay. But it's really interesting to watch, and that is a good example of the butterfly effect, because if that meteor had not landed, or it landed in the ocean or something like that, different things would have happened. So, I think that's pretty interesting.
We need to... This is something that I realized during the Meme Star episode, and that this is something I'm realizing we're kind of doing now. We neglect guests. So much, because I feel like you and I both have so much to say.
There's nothing to contribute right now.
Because I'm talking about Fortnite. What is he going to say?
Fork knife?
The last time he played was, what, Season 5? When Kevin was strolling around the rats?
Season 2?
You played in Season 2?
I never played.
That's fair. He played whenever we were
I remember
on.
the only time I've seen Poe play Fortnite, he was hiding the whole game.
Listen.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
I got like 5th place. I just want to point that out.
Is, dude.
Worthless. Unless you're number 1, it doesn't matter. It's all about the kills, bro.
Yes, sir. All right,
High kill
get back
gameplay.
to your
Okay,
smart talk
so
about different types of.
There's Avengers Endgame where it has that parallel universe, multiverse.
So whatever you do
theory.
in the past doesn't change your future. It just
Right,
creates
it
another
creates
universe.
another future for your past self.
Yes.
There's Back to the Future, where everything you do in the past affects your future. Rick and Morty, I think, reference that a lot. Like, Rick's like, you can't really affect anything in the past, otherwise it affects the future, but it completely screws up everything before that as well, too, right?
Yeah.
I just think, honestly, Rick and Morty is really freaking good whenever it comes to that.
Because they don't go into time travel too much, but he does mention, like, time travel's boring, you don't want to talk about that.
Right.
Which I thought was interesting.
And then I will slip in, because Poe doesn't know, there's Doctor Who time travel, which is...
Basically...
Time is the most sensitive thing that there is.
Yeah. In Back to the Future, it's like, obviously that movie's a comedy. It's not supposed to be, like, scientifically correct. Yeah. But the way that Doctor Who does it, they do it way more sensitively.
Yes.
Like, it is, like, down to the pin. You cannot touch anything. We
Which
have to
I feel
not
like
be
that's
here.
how it is.
Yeah.
Like, in real life.
Yeah.
But then you have other movies. I'm not going to name them. Nobody's going to know them. Like, people go back in time and assassinate someone to help the future. Or, like, they go back in time to assassinate someone, then someone from their future goes back and assassinates them for trying to assassinate them. Terminator, for all of you who actually wanted to know. And it's just
Is that what happens in Terminator?
They go
Man, I
back
need
to
watch
kill...
Terminator.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know. Is that interesting?
That sounds pretty cool. I thought it was just Terminator.
I'll be freaking back, yo.
There's a lot of time travel in it.
I'll be back in time, baby.
Sponsored by Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Basically,
yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. I am Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is going to be the worst episode we've ever recorded.
No, episode 7 was pretty bad.
What killed the dinosaurs?
What?
The Ice Age!
What are you quoting?
he was Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin.
I
The
haven't
all-time
seen that.
worst Batman movie,
Oh.
by the way.
Something I did want to say that I should have said earlier. There's 3 of us all in a room together using one microphone, so if the audio quality is kind of like not the best, like we can't really get that close.
Yeah. We'd be on top of each other.
We need
and that's not
mics
ideal.
for each of us, but it's not quite an option for us.
Yeah, it's
And
not the most
I
ideal situation
apologize,
yet.
but
We're doing what we can with what we have.
And I feel like as long as this podcast continues to improve, at least in some way, every week,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're doing ourselves justice.
How do you... Okay, so there's a big, like, thing about meeting yourself in, like, back in time. What do you think that would cause?
I actually don't think it would be possible.
So you think that when you travel back in time... So that's another thing. Traveling back in time is also strange. So would you travel back in time along your own timeline so you would travel into space wherever you were? Or would you stay in the same place that you were traveling back in time and there would be 2 of you?
I don't think there'd be 2 of you. Have you seen X-Men Days of Future Past?
No, I haven't seen any X-Men movie.
I have, but it's been a long time.
The way I think it would work is how it did in Days of Future Past, where when you go back in time, I think it's impossible to be in a time where you have not existed. Your consciousness would slip into the body that you have then.
Okay. So you would kind of, in a sense, be caught in a time loop. Like, what is that movie? Happy Death Day?
Yes.
Where she's in a time loop, but she always remembers what happened the time before.
Yeah.
So you
Something
think it'd
like
kind of
that.
be like that.
So it wouldn't be a loop, but you know everything that's happened.
Yes.
I think that's how past time travel will work. When it comes to going to the future, I think you actually disappear from that present period and you would show up in the future. So in that time in between the present and the future that you just showed up in, you did not exist.
Okay.
That's how I think it would work.
And that would also be, like we were talking about this a little bit before, that would be how teleportation works.
That's how teleportation works in my opinion. That's what I think.
What about like aging and stuff? Because I know that's a legitimate way to actually like this is what I found from my research.
Push up your glasses.
Yeah, dude. Like time dilation is an actual way to go into the future.
What is time dilation?
Time dilation. Okay, I feel like I'm just gonna speak from my butt here.
Just go.
Do you know? Do you know?
No, go for
you
it.
You might be okay.
I'll add.
If you can travel close to the speed of light, and this goes along with like Einstein's theory of relativity, time passes quicker. I believe is how that is.
Mm-hmm.
So and time also passes like differently in space. So if you are like people in the International Space Station, I believe, like, age slower than people on Earth.
Well, that has less to do with time and more to do with the fact that there's not an atmosphere. That's more of a physical thing.
I suppose.
Because time is not a construct. Or time is not a physical thing. It's not anything that can be measured. It's just...
Not a constant.
Yes. Well, time is constant because you can't stop time.
Well...
Stopping time would just be freezing everything in its tracks. Time would still go on.
I've always had this, like...
Okay. I don't believe it'd ever be possible to stop time itself. But do you ever think it would be possible to speed up your physical being to where everything else around you slows?
I think that would definitely... Or if you slow
yourself... That's kind of what I'm trying to get
If you
at.
slow yourself down enough...
Because that's what light does.
Yes. I just got really distracted. I'm sorry. This is a... and this is like a kind of a personal theory that I've always had. This is just something I've thought about. This goes along with like stopping time or whatever. I've always thought of time as like all of time, past, present, future, as just one thing.
Like one line.
Basically a timeline, you know?
Yeah.
And you are just like passing through it.
Yeah.
And it's all just like points. Like I don't know if that makes any.
No, I completely agree.
I feel like this stuff is really hard to like talk about and put it into words, but it's also
which is why no one understands any time travel movies.
It's why I feel like people are like so reluctant to talk about stuff like this because it's just
it's hard.
It's difficult.
It's hard to explain.
To
I
wrap
see
your
what
head
you're
around.
saying. I guess you could say it's a line, and one point is the present,
Yes.
and another point is the future. And if you could time travel, all you're doing is shrinking that line, and that part that is in between didn't exist.
I'm so glad we have Poe here.
However, okay, it's not so much that. It's more the piece of paper thing. You know about that?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
So you put for those of you who don't know, take a piece of paper, put a dot on one end, a dot on the other. Then you fold the paper in half so the dots touch. If you could time travel to the future, that's what it would be like. So the paper doesn't go away, but you jump from one point of the paper to the other.
Yes.
So you just skip the rest of the paper that loops.
And that would be like a wormhole, right?
Yes, that is a wormhole. That also, in turn, works with space. That's what the most realistic idea of a wormhole is bending time and space to your will. So, time and space does not stop existing for that amount of time. You just skipped it.
Yeah.
So everyone else still felt it.
But, I'm going to say according to my research 1,000 times. But I found that out of all of the like legitimate real life ways of making time travel possible, wormholes create the most paradoxes.
Right.
What is that?
You know about like the grandfather paradox and all that?
No.
Okay, so the grandfather paradox is like theoretically if you were able to go back in time and shoot your grandfather dead, then they wouldn't have your father and your father wouldn't have you. Thus,
you
no
never
one,
shot your grandfather.
Yes.
no one is there to go back in time to shoot your grandfather.
So he does exist.
So
Yes.
he does exist, and then you are born, and you shoot the and it just goes around and around
Yeah.
like a paradox.
I do know
Sponsored
that
by
one.
paradoxes.
Sponsored by
I can't stop.
What
I
a
can't
good-
stop.
Therefore,
this joke.
he's both dead and alive.
Thus,
Schrodinger's cat.
creating
Exactly.
Schrodinger's cat.
I think we should devote an entire episode to like realities and Schrodinger's cat.
Ooh,
I think that'd be interesting.
I wouldn't
The
discuss the quantum.
quantum.
I wouldn't.
So
discuss
hold
the
on,
quantum realm.
can we discuss Schrodinger's cat really quick? So what is the thing itself? So there's a cat in a box,
Cat in a box.
and the cat is
Cat in a
either
hat.
dead or alive, right?
You put something in the box. Close it up. No light. You cannot see anything.
Okay.
And that thing could kill the cat, or it couldn't. Is the cat dead or alive?
You don't know because you can't look in the box.
And if you can't
It's
see
the
it,
theory is like it's asking the question of is it determined when you look or is it determined when you press the button?
look outside that door. What's out in that hallway?
I feel like I know, but I don't necessarily know.
Exactly.
Because I feel like I remember what's out there, but it could have changed since the last time I was out there.
I really think that's an interesting theory, and this was something that if you guys know Vetzel from the last episode, this is something that Vetzel was talking to me a long time ago about, and I never really fully understood what he was saying, or like what the theory really was. I don't think it was exactly Schrodinger's cat, but he was telling me about this theory where like you force things to exist, like
Mhm.
things don't exist until you interact with them,
Yeah.
or like in any way, like look, touch, whatever. And I thought that was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know, just thinking about that.
Something that's interesting to me. So, when you have friends out doing their lives and whatever,
That's news to me.
haha, and say you're alone and you're not near anybody, what is telling you that that person exists?
My Snapchat,
You're-
knowing that they're all having
Yeah.
fun without me.
But that is physical evidence that they are there. When you are not thinking of them, and you are not processing the fact that they are alive and doing something, do they exist to you?
If a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound?
Exactly.
Like it's the.
Obviously it does.
Does it even fall? Does it even exist?
Or was that tree just rendered in like a video game fallen someday?
Bro, we live in a video. It's all
So if you guys are out of my render distance, do you exist?
Fake.
Nothing's real. Reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold.
I knew it would come to this.
What? To me
This
quoting,
episode.
To me quoting.
Rick and Morty.
No. Gravity Falls. What is his name? What?
I
Bill
don't know.
Cipher. Can you put that clip in there?
No.
Reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy.
Life
No.
is a lie. Reality is crap.
Come
watch TV.
We're all
something.
stars.
Come watch TV. That's a good quote.
Back to actual time travel.
And
you
not
know.
quantum
Kobe.
mechanics.
Kobe.
Well,
I'm gonna eat these
I mean,
chips.
quantum mechanics. Dude, focus.
Sorry, I'm
Quantum,
hungry.
quantum mechanics has a lot to do with time travel. I think.
Yeah,
It
I
does.
feel like we have to
It
include it, at
goes.
some
It
point.
goes right along. So.
It goes
Because,
right along
okay,
with
imagine-
Avengers.
Imagine this. So, you know the portals from Portal,
Yes.
the video game.
Yes, sir.
For those of you who don't know, basically, it's a gun. The gun doesn't matter. You place a portal on one wall, and you place a portal.
Left click.
Shut up. You place a portal on one wall. You place a portal on another wall. You walk through the portal, and you come out the other one, wherever it is. And then you walk back through that portal, and you come out the other one. So it's a door, basically. But you can put it wherever. So, given that, forgot what I was going to say. Oh, okay. So, how much time, say you put one at one end of Walmart and at the other end of Walmart, okay? This has to do less with time travel, but it's teleportation.
Yes.
You put one at one end of Walmart and one at the other. You have one friend, you and a friend are standing right next to each other. You have them walk all the way to the end of Walmart, and you just walk through the portal. Did you time travel because you didn't have to walk that distance?
No, because it's a video
I-
game.
The answer would be no, because you didn't go forward in time, you just moved locations. Because if you move forward in time, all you would have done was disappeared and then reappeared at a later time.
Space time, dude.
So, teleportation in that way would not be time travel.
Not necessarily. Because you disappeared from that point in time, but you showed up that exact same point in time. It's
So
not-
would it be considered time travel?
Because time is changing all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it
All
changed
the
just
time.
now. Like, immediately.
Get that crap out of here.
And so, basically, all you're doing is going from one second to another through a different space.
Yeah.
So it's still time travel.
But it's just a shorter amount of time in a longer distance.
Right.
Okay. So, technically, it would be time travel, but it wouldn't be the sense that
It wouldn't
we
be
think of.
the sci-fi time travel,
It would be realistic time travel.
which brings up to
Time
what we...
travel is never going to be what we think of it
Oh, definitely
fictionally.
not.
You know?
Yeah.
Which would
like-
bring it to what we were talking about just a few minutes ago before the podcast with the photon.
Yeah.
You want to explain it?
Yeah, okay, so basically well, I don't know if it was in August, but I read it, and it said it was from August. Scientists in...
China.
I got a hair in my eye. Scientists from China managed to actually legitimately teleport a photon, and if you don't know what a photon is, it is very small. Very,
Very
very,
small.
very, very small.
Small.
Very small.
Dude.
They managed to teleport a photon from the ground to the International Space Station, or a space station. So 300 miles in the air, which is amazing that they can do that. Very small, obviously, around the size, what would you say, an atom? Photons are
Bigger.
a little bit, they're bigger than, probably way bigger than an atom, but around that size, just to think about it. By the way, in case you don't know how small an atom is, the thing that's in between the size of an atom and the planet Earth is like a speck of dust. That is the thing that's in the middle of the size scale.
What?
Yeah, atoms are...
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you, wait,
So,
just
you imagine
say
like
that
a
again for
really
me.
small crumb, like one that you can barely see. That is in the middle of the size scale between an atom and the planet Earth. That's how small atoms are. Yeah.
There's an atom, and then there's a crumb, and then there's Earth. The crumb is in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. Okay.
So think
That-
about how many crumbs can fit in planet Earth. That's how many atoms can fit in a crumb. It's a lot of freaking atoms. Atoms, and yeah, we can just look at them. You know, we just have microscopes. And we're
I
just
thought
like,
you were saying.
I hate you.
Why do you hate me?
You just look at them.
Oh, look, there's some
thought-
atoms.
I
I got
thought
some
you
in
were
my
saying
saying,
Adam was the one in between, and I was like, that makes no
Oh,
sense.
yeah, no. Atoms are very small.
I'm reading about black holes. Leave me alone.
What was I was going to say something. Oh, okay, this is another thing. So, the concept of time travel, loosely defined, is going through a portal or whatever and appearing in another time
Going from one point of time to another.
in like a millisecond. That's the excuse me. I'm burping continuously.
Not necessarily.
But just it's like instantly. That's like the idea, right?
I mean,
So, and it's relative to you because everything else is still going to go on around you.
theory
If
of
you're
relativity, my man.
how would you consider like cryo sleep time travel? Because for you, it could be a millisecond. You could be asleep for no
It's
time at
not
all.
would you consider sleep time travel? It's not. It feels quick, but it's not. I mean, that 8 hours still.
But see, it feels quick to you. So to you,
But
you
sleeping-
traveled through time.
Sleeping is not.
But your consciousness is not.
I guess that's deep sleep. Your consciousness is asleep, but deep sleep is rare.
Is your consciousness and time like different? Like that goes back to the reality thing. Like
Time.
Are you the determining factor here?
Nothing about time is reality. Time and reality are two separate things because time is a construct. Time is just going to happen whether or not we figure that out.
Yeah.
Like, but I definitely think time is relative. Because if no one was keeping track of time, it would still go on. Like, just nobody would keep track
Okay,
of it. So when was the time when they decided, okay, we're going to start keeping track of what year it is? When was that? And why did they decide that was year 0?
0.
When did they decide, oh, this is when we're going to start marking things with years?
The
Because
Adam and
So-
Eve, obviously.
No. Some.
And I mean, who decided? Because I mean, we've made it 2000 already, almost 2020. But there were years
it's
before
like
that.
the, I don't know, Romans or Mayans or something like that. But
Well, look, the Mayan calendar is different.
Yeah, the Mayan
It
calendar,
is.
they like marked all the way to 2012, and then someone was like, "You want a beer?" And he's like, "Sure," and then they just forgot to get back to it.
I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say.
So think about it this way: if you go back in time, like given Endgame time travel, like where there's no repercussions for what you do in your reality, just so you can screw around, you go back in time to a year before you think they started measuring things with time, and you present them this concept of let's measure things with years. What year would it be? Would they have started? Would that advance things further if the only thing you gave them was time?
Well, I feel like that's why we have the whole BCAD thing, or had.
Do you think the passage of time makes people think more? Like, because they know they're gonna die? I think I don't know where I'm going with this. I just started thinking about it.
I zoned out.
I did too. Okay, so you go back in time, and you just present, like, to a time where you can tell that they don't.
How do you present time to someone, though?
I guess that's a good point. Just
Like-
bring a calendar.
But how do you introduce that to someone who doesn't have a way of telling seconds, minutes, or hours?
I know. You base it off the sun like they used to.
They didn't have seconds, though.
No, but if you can... See, if you gain the knowledge of how we measure time, if you gain every, like, down to the millisecond of how we measure time, and then you present them that. So you present them, hey, so when the sun is here, all the way up in the sky, it's 12. But we're in the winter, so the sun doesn't get all the way up there.
But who decided this is the middle? This is the middle of the day.
Well, the
Because
sun's-
we still have time savings,
That's fair.
which changes.
But I feel like... I mean, aren't we the only country that does that?
Are we?
Is that a... I'm,
You're looking at
I'm,
me like I know.
I'm fairly certain.
You did your research.
Hey, Google. How many countries do...
I
daylight
went more
savings time?
scientific with my research.
Stop talking.
Here's what I understood from the website weaponsindex.org. Today, approximately 70 countries utilize daylight savings.
70 countries in the world utilize daylight savings time.
Hey,
that is
Google.
not a lot.
Hey Google, full volume. There we go. Oh, don't eat my kale chips.
I mean,
Oh.
they're not kale, they're
Aren't we?
seed.
Mine. I can edit this out. It's fine.
Okay.
It posts like we're on air. What are you doing?
Streaming. We're back. We're back. We're back. we had an incident.
Wait, do it again.
We're back.
There we go.
Everybody.
Gotta have some dead space in there first.
Okay, we had an incident. We're fine.
We had a moment of goof.
Yeah, I goofed.
Eli goofed.
Jacob,
I didn't do it to... What did he
Jacob,
say? I didn't do it to
goofed.
defy you. I just goofed.
Bro, Jacob, I goofed.
Anyway, where were we? I forgot.
I have no
I
idea.
was talking about
Let's talk about
the
time
concept
travel.
of introducing time.
We were talking about the
Daylight
daylight
savings.
savings times.
That's not about time travel. What am I talking about? I just went on a complete rant about something.
You really did.
I'm losing my mind. I'm so tired.
All right, so what are we going to talk about?
I
now?
was gonna ask you guys a question, but oh, I think this is what it was, and this may or may not really lead to anything, but it's just an opinion that I'm curious about. Do you guys think that, say, take like a fly, like a house fly or something? Do you think their life feels like the length of ours? Like, I know that's kind of like what relativity is in a sense, but
Well, for some people they'll have different opinions, but that depends on whether or not you think animals themselves have their own consciousness, soul, spirit, whatever, just their own way of thinking.
that's an interesting point.
Okay.
I started thinking about people who, like, while you're saying that, I started thinking about people who end up having shorter lives. Like someone who lives to the age of 30, their life doesn't feel like an 80-year-old
Yeah.
80-year life.
Well, think
So,
about this. Okay. When you were 6, didn't it feel like years went back in like millennia? Like
What?
like a year took so long to go by.
Yes.
Like the first like 14 years of your
So
life.
why does time feel like it
Because
speeds up?
because you've already done 18 years. So what's one more year? And the older you get, you've already had
You're experiencing more time.
you're experiencing more time, so a
Okay.
chunk of time, like a designated chunk of time seems like less time relative to how long you've been alive.
Exactly.
The theory of relativity.
Then what about the people with like Alzheimer's or autism who think they're like 6 years old, but they could be like 30 or 50?
I think, say you have autism, and I don't know anything about this. I may not be in a place to answer this, but I think in that situation, I don't know that they think about time. I don't know that that's ever a problem to them.
But for some, like, they think they're 7 for a majority of their lives, or whatever age. Has it felt like 7 years? Because for them-
No, copyright.
For them consciously...
We're not gonna get copyright strike, dude.
We don't
Nobody
know.
watches our
Yeah.
Just watch. But
Kobe! Crap.
Wow.
for them, 7 years felt like it's been 7 years. That's why they're 7.
I guess that's fair. I feel like
Maybe that's the key to time travel.
you have to just think. You're like, I've only been here 7 years, and now you're 7.
I
That's
wanna go to Egypt when they're building the pyramids.
See,
Oh,
but
look.
you can't go in the past.
Well,
I'm
think
here.
about this. Think back to your 10th birthday, if you remember it, or whatever.
I don't.
actually, I do. My brother
I don't
peed
know
on
what
my
I'm
leg.
saying. I just
Think-
remember
think-
saying, I'm this many.
Think back to an older birthday that you remember. I remember one.
I got one.
You remember one, Eli?
Can it be the most recent one?
No.
Because I remember that the best.
Well, fine, that works too.
That way we got
Can
some
you-
variety.
can
I don't
you-
know where you're going with this.
Can you witness that again?
In your head.
Physically, no.
So,
Once something happens, it is a memory and that's it.
yes.
And it is
Can you say that again? What you just said.
I can.
You can.
Would you like
but
me to?
it's not doing it again. It's not
Exactly.
going back to that moment.
Yeah.
So, I forgot where I was going with this.
No, you can't keep doing
I
this.
completely lost it. What was I going to say? I had a point.
Maybe you should replace me with him.
You know,
Do you know how
him with
tired I
I'm
am?
vibing with that idea.
Wow.
It's
He's
about
vibing.
12 a.m. Or 12:30.
PM.
12:35 a.m.
Do you know that I-
PM.
No,
PM.
it's
AM.
Can you?
It's AM.
Shut up, I was
I-
right.
I have to cut.
We're
Time!
We're time traveling.
Time,
I have
bro.
to say something that you have to cut out.
Okay, we're back.
Hey, what's up,
Noah
dog?
said some inappropriate things.
No, I didn't.
And so did Poe.
I did not.
I said nothing of the sort.
He's a good Christian boy.
Good Christian man.
Anyway, what were we talking about? I don't
I'm
remember.
a man.
You're a Christian.
You're 18, shut up. I'm 19, big man. Big
You're
boy,
a
man boy.
Christian. What do you mean?
I was joking.
Yes.
No, your brother's Christian. His brother's name is Christian.
name's Christian.
They're gonna find me now.
Why?
That's the
They
goal.
know my last name.
No, they don't. We didn't say that was your last name.
Poe is my middle name, by the way.
Yeah.
Poe has eight middle names, and that's his 6th one.
Do you have a middle name?
I have 2.
What are they? We'll
Wow.
bleep this out. I just want to know. I didn't know that.
I knew
Technically, my is my Catholic name. It's not not lawfully my middle name, but it's,
Anyway,
that's weird.
you get it when
I
you
knew.
do confirmation.
But I didn't
Yeah.
know. Quit making me edit. Quit that.
my social security number is 111
11112.
2112. 11 was a
Someone's
racehorse.
gonna try that.
22 was 12.
Okay, can we actually talk about the topic, please?
2.
1, 1, 2, 1. No wait.
1 2
it's
3
like-
2 1.
How
1
did-
2 3 4
no.
3 2 1. 1 2 3
How
4
does
5
the
4
hand
3
thing
2
go?
1.
Or is that the other
1
one?
2 3 4
What?
5 6 4 5 4 3 2
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1 5 4 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 4 5 3 2 1.
hated
We did that in
one.
a minor chord.
I hated that
Did
one.
you notice that?
Wait, we did.
3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
We did.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
1.
And we're
8, 7, 8,
back.
8, 7, 6, 7, 8.
Shut up.
5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 7, 6,
And
5,
we're
4,
back.
6, 5,
Welcome
6, 7,
back.
8.
Welcome back.
I'm leaving most of this in.
Anyway, we just spent 10 minutes doing nothing. I'm so out of it, bro.
All right,
Somebody get back to
we're
it.
back after a
And
long
we're
break
back.
of being stupid.
Somebody get.
So time travel.
Somebody bring up
Hit us,
something.
Poe.
I don't know what to talk about. I mean, I've hit the movies I like.
What? Okay. Something that I don't understand. Do you understand string theory? I'm pretty sure that's the paper thing that I explained.
I don't know the names of things. I just know the concepts.
Well, thank you, Poe. Get out of my house.
This has been Poe. I ate a piece of chocolate, by the way. I'm fat.
You want some
let me pose this more light-hearted question to you, okay?
All right.
If you could time travel to anywhere in time, anywhere in space, and or anywhere in space, we'll make it into two separate questions because I feel like there's a lot of space options and a lot of time options, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, travel anywhere in space?
Yeah, we'll start with that. Anywhere in space.
Does it have to be real?
Ideally.
Okay, anywhere in space is doable because you don't want to go to Mars because you'll just die. They don't have an atmosphere that you can breathe.
Then if
dummy.
that's the case, I'm going to
If you
Coruscant.
no, if it may
Coruscant, really?
Yeah.
Out of all the planets in Star Wars, you choose Coruscant.
Okay, why not?
croissant.
He's gonna watch Star Wars.
Oh yeah, Eli has never watched Star Wars.
I've seen The Force Awakens. And
Okay, you still haven't watched Star
10
Wars.
minutes-
He has not watched
like
Star
10
Wars.
minutes of Solo.
You have not watched Star Wars.
No, I haven't. I'm going to. It's on the
Yeah,
list.
don't start with Solo.
I'm gonna start with Solo just because you told me not to. Father
Start
Poe.
with 4. Don't start with 1. You'll be a dummy.
Do 4, 5, 1, 2, 3.
No.
6.
No.
Why?
7,
No.
9.
What? Why that?
Because you get the reveal.
Shut up
after-
about Star Wars. Answer my question.
Okay. I mean, I couldn't travel anywhere in space because we don't know what's in space because
That's fair.
our astronauts are dumb.
Okay, go for time then.
Time, I could not tell you. There's several different places I would want to travel.
You're useless.
I mean,
I wanna see how tall Napoleon actually was because he probably wasn't that short.
okay.
Like he was probably like 5'9".
Is this
Like he
really
was,
how
no.
y'all are answering
No,
this?
Eli.
freaking
Well, you asked. Be realistic. Can you choose just one particular thing you would want to travel to?
I want to see a dinosaur.
Okay, but yes.
Isn't it weird to think about the fact that T-Rexes are closer to us than they are to Stegosauruses in terms of time? Did you know that?
Time doesn't exist.
Well,
Time
I'm
is
leaving.
a human concept.
Well, to be
Anyways,
fair,
answer the question. Is there just one point in time that you can choose to go to?
I haven't really thought about it a lot.
Neither can
This
we.
is I always like come up with questions to ask people and then I end up having to answer them myself and I never know what the answer is.
Exactly. Like, you asked us on the
Why-
spot. You've known to the question longer.
I haven't. I tried to think about it. I couldn't really.
So who's useless now?
Dude,
you.
out of my house. No, but my issue is I can't think of like important historical events off the top of my head that would be worth seeing.
For me, they're not important, though. Like, I just have different events that I would love to be at. Like, the filming of Star Wars. Like,
Dude,
think of how much of a monumental moment that is. Just any film, like classical film. Could you imagine being...
I could stop him from making the prequels.
bro, I want to be the
Don't even go there.
I want to be the first person. Wait. This I never said this doesn't include future, did I?
No. I don't.
Ah.
I don't want to see my own future.
I don't either.
I know I don't want to see my own future. I want to see the future. Like just where planet Earth is in, like I don't know, like 1,000 years or something.
Gone.
That dude.
I
Is that what
honestly-
you think?
I honestly think our planet will be gone.
But do you think we're going to figure out another method of survival in the time that we have left.
I think there will be a
with
way
the-
to save.
Like, do you
few of
think
us.
that the human population is just going to
It's going to decrease a whole lot.
go extinct?
No, definitely not extinct, but definitely endangered.
This kind of... Have you ever seen the 100?
I know of it.
This... it's really interesting to, like, think about, like, the concept of it. Because what happens is planet Earth is hit with, like, this nuclear thing, you know, it... Very,
And only 100
very
people
possible.
survive.
No, actually, no.
No, they disappear
it's
for an
a-
instant and then they show back up
Shut
in the
up.
future.
Shh.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You are wrong.
Okay, go.
Amen.
Now I lost my train of thought. You can't do this to me.
Yeah, you can't interrupt Eli. He'll lose it.
Why
Now we're
isn't
gonna
it-
sit here in silence.
Why?
No, I just sit in
All right.
silence.
What's the one
No,
about?
we're just...
And why isn't it an airplane of thought? Because like airplanes travel so much faster.
What?
Wait, what?
Why isn't it an airplane of thought? Because
Okay.
airplanes travel so much faster.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's why. Because your brain's loading still.
He's buffering.
Well, I had it and y'all interrupted me again.
Bang near interrupt me again. For the Lord.
Okay, so the concept of the one...
Yeah. What a good concept. I'll watch
the
that show now.
concept of the 100, I feel like, is posed in a way that is totally possible in our current society. So, the Earth is basically nuked, and there's, like, this radioactive crap, you know.
Your usual stuff.
And, what remains of humanity, of humans, they go up into space on this ship called the Ark, and you know it's in a society that's more technologically advanced and all that.
How many of them are
So,
there?
There's like thousands,
Oh.
like a couple thousand probably, but they send down this group of 100 criminals after like a certain amount of years. I don't know, to test if the Earth is survivable, and then they run into a bunch of other problems that, you know, is kind of irrelevant to the topic we're talking about.
So, is it aliens that abducted them?
What?
You said that they go into a spaceship on some society.
They created it.
Oh, okay.
Created by
They
human.
go into a spaceship called the Ark, and it's in a society that's more technologically advanced, so they can live in space. They can afford to live in space for as long as they need to.
Okay. I gotcha.
Till the oxygen runs out.
But that's actually why they send the criminals down, because they're running low on oxygen.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, I whispered till the oxygen runs out.
Yeah, in case you couldn't hear that. You should just crank the gain on that part so high.
Till the oxygen runs out. I'm sorry.
That was
I'm
awesome.
so sorry.
That was
Look at
so
that.
much peaking.
I'm gonna have to
Jesus.
Cut it.
probably just mute it. Use the mug.
No,
You're all
I'm
drinking.
just kidding.
you can't force me.
All right.
What
Next
else is
topic.
there?
I'm losing it. I'm losing my
We're all
mind.
getting tired.
I'm not tired at all.
We recorded an hour and four. Of course you're not, Poe. You don't sleep.
You know, there's no rule that we have to make it over an hour.
Listen, we want it to be over an hour. I love this.
Let's just keep this
conversation.
crap rolling.
I
dude.
love this conversation.
We don't even have to talk about time.
I'm driving you
travel
home.
anymore.
Don't complain.
Dude,
Let's just. I don't know. Talk about our weeks.
nobody's gonna listen to that.
The
Well-
first 2 episodes.
I can't pick up 200 pounds. That's how weak I am.
Dude.
Dude. Alright, that's the end of the episode. Bye, 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 bye.
I think Noah's so tired he's not going to be able to match.
Bye, bye.
Bro, me in last episode.
Yeah, we talked about
I was
that.
sharp on that, but it was because everyone was doing it at once, and I couldn't hear myself.
By the way, if you watched last episode when everyone harmonized with us, or
They didn't know.
They didn't know. We just did that.
Dalton knew.
They didn't.
Dalton's the only one that knew. Dalton watches.
He watches our podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, right after the call, or right after we stopped recording,
I'm leaving that in.
you are.
Vetzel leaving.
You leave. Oh,
I'm
okay,
leaving
okay,
that.
okay. Then you saw it already, guys. It was so freaking funny. Vetzel just laughed. He thought we were actually saying bye. Everyone else
We were
knew.
outroing the podcast, and Vetzel was like,
Bye, and then left.
"You just hear the noise, the
Doo-doo.
Discord leaving." Yeah. My gosh. Good times.
Anyway.
Good times. Back to the topic.
Back
Times.
to the future.
I don't know. I think time travel is really fun to talk about and discuss.
It is.
I'm just not emotionally stable enough to talk about it
Oh
right
my
now.
God.
I'm so tired.
I feel like anything that
May or may not
I feel-
exist.
I feel like just theories are fun
Yeah.
to just toss around about really anything. And I do think that we should have a conspiracy theory episode for
That'd be
sure.
pretty
May I be back for that one?
Can we talk about cryptids?
We might have to have Poe back.
We'll have Poe back for that one.
Maybe. I'm not making any promises.
Come on.
He's
The
gonna
birds
be
work
back.
for, listen, the birds work for the bourgeoisie.
The
And we're
birds
all-
work for the bourgeoisie.
Sponsored.
Spoiler.
Sponsored by the
Bourgeoisie.
Also,
Bourgeoisie.
when I come back, I'll tell you why I think cryptids and everything fictitious, everything fictitious is
Fictionish.
real, like zombies,
I
werewolves, vampires. Why
You
I
think that's real?
I actually do.
That's
Tell
for
us.
another episode.
No, it's not.
No, I'm going to
Tell
say
me.
Nope.
Tell me.
That's going to be a
No,
long
it's
story.
a
Brother-
very long explanation.
Brother Poe. How long?
Very long.
How long is very long?
At
We've reached an hour anyway. We got to end the episode.
Yeah, but we did nothing for 20 minutes.
No, I'm telling you. This will be for next one. It's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
It'll spread several conversations.
Where are you going?
I got to stretch. My legs hurt. You can still hear me. It's fine.
You can do that. Oh my gosh.
Who's got the next topic? We're not about to just talk about our week.
Why?
Please put that in there somewhere. This is going to be the heaviest editing
Okay.
episode.
You're right. You're right. We gotta end it. Sit back down.
Are we ending it?
Sit back down. I want to be the root.
Oh, well, hold on. We were talking about when you would want to go back in time and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Let's continue talking about that.
We'll just
Okay.
cut everything in between.
Hold on. Okay, so...
I've never wheezed this much.
we have had a long period of time where we have talked about nothing. But now we're going to continue talking about the topic because we are so tired. But we want to
We've
get this
also just
episode.
been talking nonstop for 4 hours.
Yes, we're kind of burnt out right
I've
now.
been singing.
Yeah.
We also sang for a little while. Anyway, the question was if you could go back in time, where, or when, or just if you could go back and see something.
Who? How?
Where,
Why?
Where, when, why, how?
Who?
When,
What?
how,
Where?
where?
When? Why? Who?
Who, what, when, where, why, how? Who, what, when, where, why, how?
Who?
Who? Alexander the Great.
Poop.
What is what is the library that had all the knowledge that burnt down? You know what you know what I'm talking about.
Congress?
Yes.
No, I don't know.
No, the Library
Yes, I
of
know what
Congress
you're
is
talking
the one
about.
that exists.
I've been there.
It has a copy of
Why?
every
What
book.
was it burnt
published.
down?
Yes.
Yes, while I was
It
there.
was ashes. I burnt it down, actually.
One place that I would really like to go back in time is Notre Dame.
They're gonna know.
One time I want to see Notre Dame because we're never going to see that now
Notre Dame.
because it's gone. It's
Yeah.
just gone.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
That's true. That's
It's
fair.
weird that I mean, obviously there's nothing we could have done, but that existed for the majority of our lives up until now, and now it just doesn't. It's so strange. Also, something else that really is weird to me, and it's not just because I vape.
Can I leave that?
Yeah, you can. The fact that
You don't.
for years,
Okay.
the legal smoking age has been 18, and we were alive when it was changed.
You want to go back in time to when you could legally vape?
No. Yes, I want to go back till 4 days ago. We're dating the episode. It's just weird to think about the fact that I was
December
alive
29th, my man.
when a law was changed.
Right.
Yeah.
And obviously
Well,
that's
a lot
gonna
of
have.
laws change though.
But yeah,
Like,
but I mean,
constantly.
but that's like a big one.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think about the fact, and I mean that's going to happen for the rest of our lives. The only president that I've ever been functional enough as a human being to know is Trump, because I knew who Obama was, and I knew that he was there from 2008.
Yeah.
I
But
feel like we got quite a bit from him, though.
I don't remember it, though, because I never cared. And then Trump came, and now I care. So it'll be interesting to... Because I'm going to be a part of this election. And I'm going to vote for the next president of the United States, and that's weird to think about.
Yeah.
Not
It's
the only
weird
one.
to see how time passes. How time passes, baby. Yes!
Segways, my man.
But, like, I think Notre Dame would definitely be one. And honestly, I think the day that I would want to see it is the day before it burnt down.
Wow.
Because, I want to see everyone who saw it last.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It's not.
It's not dark. I just want to see the last people that saw it and the people that are going to go and be like, I saw Notre Dame before it burnt down.
I want to see your
Yeah.
face before you burn.
That would be like going to visit the Twin Towers like the day before.
Yes.
Like,
Or,
I
like,
feel like that would be.
or like early in the morning before.
Yeah.
I do want to go.
It's like
to several.
a tragedy. You know that's going to happen, but you just see everyone normal before.
See, I don't want to go to when things were destroyed. I want to go to the creation of things.
Like like when the Twin Towers were being built, like that type thing. Like before
Yeah.
they were there.
Like major impacts. Like even the pyramid. Like typical the pyramids.
Yeah, that's a big thing because we still don't. I mean,
We don't know
aliens,
how
duh.
it was built.
You know the ancient aliens guy where he's
The
aliens.
pyramids, the Mayan,
Gosh.
all their
The calendar
architecture,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
every like the ancient people.
The ancient people.
Like, there's several different.
old men.
There's several different
No,
sects
I
of
know.
it though.
I'm just kidding.
It's just, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
To
I
think
love
about.
culture, and so to be able to see the different cultures that came out of different things and how they built what they did and why they built it, I want to go back to
Yeah.
them.
You know what's something that would be cool to see in the future? You know how in like the in like Africa and stuff, there's still villages and stuff that don't see the outside world and they're like being protected. I want to see what those villagers are like in the future.
See how a third world country progresses.
Yeah, I want to
Dude.
see if they get worse or better.
Dead.
You really
Oh
think
my
so?
gosh.
You think they're just gonna die out?
I don't think they're going to die out. I do think
I think
other countries are going to try and intervene with them.
I think that
And
the
there
time
will
that we're
be
in right
uprisings.
now, the time that we're in right now, determines whether they live or die.
Oh yeah.
I think the time that we are alive right now determines whether these people that need help are going to die out or whether they will become first and second world countries again. I mean, they never were, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Because, I mean, you think of first world countries and America, UK, China, even. I mean, they're communist, but they're still first world countries.
Well, I mean, think about our country. Unless you're a survivalist, you live out in the country or anything like that.
You get stuff handed to you.
We do.
And honestly, we
if all of that was destroyed today,
wouldn't know what to do.
none of us know what to do.
And those people do.
I mean,
those people have more skill than we do at this
That's-
point. Because they can live off of nothing.
I came
They
up-
don't even know what the internet is. They've never seen
Yeah.
a meme in their life, and I feel sorry for them.
I came up with two things while you guys were talking. One was being, and it's not like really specific, but I would kind of want to see what it would be like to grow up before all these technological uprisings and things.
Yeah. Like, go back to, like, the 50s.
Something like that.
You know what I really want to do?
Where people were creative and people found ways to keep themselves busy.
Something
The
I
Renaissance
really
era
want to
would be
see
amazing.
is I want to go back to every E3. You know, the game...
The
The game
gaming
thing?
conventions?
The gaming conventions. I want to go back to...
Always end up talking about games.
No. Hear me out. You go back to the original E3 and just go through all of
Bro,
them.
Minecon?
The original Minecraft.
Let's go to Minecon.
But you go back to the original E3 and see what they passed as games then that were revolutionary, and you hear about people talking about the NES and stuff like that, and the Super Nintendo the next couple years.
Nintendo 64.
And then you go to E3 next year. Or you go to E3 2025 and see what they're presenting years down the line and compare it. And that would be so interesting to me because gaming in the past 30 years has been one of the biggest things to ever exist. I want to go back to when the people created Tennis for Two, which was the first video game ever. And it was on, like... just look it up if you've never seen it. Going back to the moment where they said, what if we make something interactive that doesn't just spit out numbers? Just scientists screwing around with a computer because they were bored. And now we can play Fortnite. Yes,
sir.
I mean, it's just so interesting to go back to that, to go back to a time where gaming was just starting and people were like, oh, this is cool. And now it's a phenomenon and it's in everyone's house. Even if you don't consider yourself a gamer, everyone's played Angry Birds. Everyone's played Tetris.
I got it on my phone right now.
Yeah, I know.
Angry Birds.
I've actually never played Angry Birds.
You haven't?
I've never.
Have you played Tetris?
Well, again, I say,
yes.
get out of my house.
Play Angry Birds Star Wars. Sponsor.
I need a
Star
counter
Wars
on the
in-
screen of how many times I tell Poe to leave my house. I thought of another
You're gonna need a bigger room.
thing that I would like to see. Like whenever Christopher Columbus, discovered America and all that bullcrap.
I mean, Cuba or whatever, wherever he discovered.
I feel like it would be cool to see someone's reaction to just finding new land.
I don't know.
And even seeing new land yourself,
But the fact that-
unadulterated, like
Untouched.
untouched land.
Well, it was touched.
But not by civilized, in quotes,
But-
hand.
Well,
It's like New York City,
If you think about it,
wasn't there.
Chris Columbus and all of
Chris
his
Columbus. Chris
BC.
Call.
BC.
They were so much more uncivilized than the natives, though. They beat,
Yeah.
killed, did things that
I just want to see it in
normal
its
people
mint condition,
shouldn't do. I wouldn't want to go back there because I know of all the
I
brutality.
want to go back
that
in
was
time,
there.
see America untouched, and just go freaking mint.
And then leave. Okay, you know what I think would... You said New York City. I want to see New York City before anything was built. Just
That's-
the raw
that's
land.
what I was saying.
Just the raw land that was there and see how different the landscape was. Because what was on that island? What was on Manhattan before it was Manhattan? What was there? We have no idea. There could be a mountain there.
Yeah.
But we have no idea. I mean, I'm sure it's like marked somewhere because obviously there was a settlement built there first, and then it just evolved into one of the biggest cities in the U.S.
Yeah.
Seeing them put up the Hollywood sign, like put it up,
That would,
Yeah.
be, a
that would be
dream.
cool.
That would be a dream.
I'd also like to
Because something tells me that was like more recent than we think it was. I have no idea when it was, but I feel like it hasn't been there for a ridiculously long time. Like maybe like the 60s. Like probably way sooner than we think. Because Hollywood and stuff started in like the 20s and stuff. That's when movies were starting to become popular.
Roaring Twenties, bro. You guys excited for Roaring Twenties V2?
Ooh,
Great Depression
yeah,
V2.
let's go.
You can't clap like that.
Look at that peak.
Great Depression V2.
96 years ago, 1923.
Yeah.
What was?
Wait, what?
1923.
It was put up at the beginning? Okay, never mind. But still, it would still be cool to see.
But
Another.
it was created as an advertisement. As a temporary
What?
advertisement for a local real estate
They just
development.
left it.
But due to increasing recognition, the sign was left up.
Wow.
That is
That's
so
awesome.
cool. So that was never meant to stay.
No.
I wonder if it was like previously like a crappy sign, but then later they went back and made it a better sign. That would make more sense.
I'm sure they did.
Because if it was meant to be temporary, they wouldn't have made it out of like steel and stuff that they did.
Yeah.
They probably went back and changed it.
You know where else I want to go? Like at first I was like, how the heck do I answer this question? And now I'm just thinking of like a million things. I would like
Whenever
to...
it was first built, it was Hollywood Land.
That's what it says?
Hollywoodland?
That's
Oh, that's cool.
it
Oh my
looks
gosh.
beautiful. You guys can't see it, but
Send this picture to him and have him put him up.
Bro, this is our thumbnail. What are you talking about?
Send that picture to him. Hollywoodland, that's interesting. Also, Hollywood is just a construct as well. That's a funny thing. Hollywood is not a thing. It's not a company.
No.
Hollywood's just like the location in quotes, but it's also not the town. Town's LA.
I've never thought about that.
Hollywood doesn't exist. It's just a concept combining everything that has to do with TV and shows,
yeah.
which is interesting. Hollywood is a concept just like time. It doesn't actually exist. Bring
Nice
it
segue.
back. Yeah, baby.
Another place I would like to go in the far, far past. You know, I'd like to waltz up to Mr. and Mrs. Adam and Eve, you know,
Yeah.
and be like,
Don't eat the apple.
morning to you. That apple over there,
And they'd be like,
don't touch it.
dude, they would freak out because they're the only people, and then you're just there, and they're like,
I mean, if they won't listen to God, heck, maybe they'll listen to me.
yeah, but listen to another human.
Honestly, I'd probably waltz to Walt Disney and tell him not to make Song of the South.
Oh my
And with that,
Sit down.
this chair is not comfortable.
I almost spit that water out.
All right, y'all, post sings. So this outro is gonna be banging.
Yep.
Do
Well,
I
sit down.
I don't sing.
Sit down.
Guys, this has been a pretty
You
good
than me than
episode.
him.
Yeah.
Hit us with it.
Well, are we going to say anything else, or are we just going to say bye? All right, there's the outro. Bye. Well,
We thoroughly enjoyed this episode.
yeah.
Talking about something actually serious
there
and
was
scientific.
a lot of tangents. In the comment section, let us know where you'd like to go.
Okay.
Because we'd like to hear your feedback, because that's an interesting topic. Or respond to us on Instagram. I'll probably post something about us recording this episode.
I was gonna ask you this. Hang on, I forgot. Oh, when did you want to do video? Because I know we were planning to do that at some milestone. Do you want to do it 10 or 25 or what?
We could do it 10.
10?
We could try it 10.
So that's next episode. Next episode.
We're going to try it.
We're gonna
if
try
you don't
video.
see us, we didn't do it.
So if you're watching on YouTube, that's the only version of our podcast that will have the video, but it'll be there next episode. If you want to watch this on YouTube,
Should get a green screen.
dude.
All right, we'll see you guys.
It was a joke.
I'm about to hit us with it. You ready?
We enjoyed having you, Poe.
We did.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful guest. We'll see you again at
Very
some
on the
point
spot.
to talk
but
about
I
what was it?
enjoyed
What were you going to talk about?
We're going to talk about
Cryptids.
conspiracy theories and cryptids and
That's gonna be an
historical.
What is
Cryptids are basically
like
like
fictional creatures?
Cryptozoology
Yes.
is basically like
Sasquatch.
Bro,
Sasquatch.
Walking Dead boy right here.
Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
Zombies.
Those
Walking
are
Dead
cryptids.
man.
Those
The
are
fact that
actually created by history, but George Romero actually created the first zombie movie,
What was it?
Dawn of the Dead.
I've never heard of that.
You act like you should know that.
Brother, I don't know anything about zombies.
I'm very disappointed.
Anyway, I'm about to hit us with it. Ready?
All right, go for it.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeet.
I'm not leaving that in.
Zooey mama.
I hate you guys.